Hi everyone, it is Marie here from Skeins, and yes, I know I didn't catch up yesterday. It kind of got away on us a little bit. We are employing new people here for our shop. We've had that ad running actually this time in Trade Me Jobs, and we spent all day actually interviewing some really incredible young people, and it's been wonderful actually. It's been really neat, and I'm back in this morning because we're doing some more this morning. So I thought I would sneak in a little bit earlier while it was all nice and quiet. No one else was here. And well, actually, Damien and Karen are here, but no, Claire's not in here. So I don't have to annoy her, and just catch up with you just on a few things that I wanted to talk about yesterday and didn't get a chance to. Oh my word, I've got Karen is here with her granddaughter and I can just see her out the window. She's so cute. So I just wanted to say hello and just talk about a couple of things. If you're eagle eye, you would see that I did actually load up a couple of yarns yesterday. And good morning, Anne. And these are gorgeous. These came in from the mill yesterday morning. And this is the first one here, which is, oh, can you see that there? There it is. It's called Creme de Menthe. And I did definitely pop a picture out of this last night. It is so pretty. And what this is it's come through, it's our baby mint. And what we've gone and done, Esam was feeling a little bit, expensive, and we had the baby mint, our classic merino soft baby mint, and he was also doing the another batch of water lilies Renoir, and he thought, oh, so he actually threw the mint through the Renoir print at the end of the Renoir print, and this is what came out. Now, we do not have a lot of this. He only did it was only a small I think about 6 or 7 kilos. So it's which equates out to about 140 odd balls. So that's not a lot for us, and it is so pretty, like really quite edible, and I love it. I really do love it when their creativity, this is the thing. I mean, yes, we're a manufacturing process, but everyone has a little creative side, and and then you get just beautiful yarns like this. It doesn't show well on screen. It looks quite actually more blue on screen. It is definitely, if you're familiar with our merino soft baby mint, that is definitely quite a sort of more of a it is like sort of that color just between green and aqua blue, and yeah, it is so pretty. So if you're wanting to do something particularly this time of year when there are a lot of babies rolling around, this is neat. And if you're wanting to do solid contrast to go with it, you can actually mix back our merino soft standard mint with that and have no problems whatsoever. So that has gone up. So that is up on the merino soft page, so check that out. And then the other one I popped up, which was one that we were hoping to get in for the opening, but it just didn't quite make it, was this guy here called Bellflower. It's a beautiful classic baby blue, powdery blue. It's lovely. It's classic full price. So this is the same. It's priced just to the end of the month at the same price as the other stripes, the kaleidoscopes. It was supposed to all come in together as a big series. But this, if you're needing to stock up and you love those lovely, beautiful sky blue shades, $2.95 until the end of the month. And then this one goes up to its regular price. So do make sure you go out and catch up with those. Now, I mentioned before about this time of year, and I've seen it with the new beginnings on the speakeasy, and I'm loving the posts there. And there has been loads and loads of babies around. It's spring after all. It is the season, and I mean, we do have a load of yarns that you can use which are great for babies, but I do still have people, ask what is best for babies, what do you like to use? One comment that comes back all the time, actually, particularly if I'm in the shop, we don't see it so much online, but we certainly get it in the shop, and we'll have people coming in who are knitting for either not so much mums knitting for daughters, but definitely grandmothers knitting for grandbabies, and they'll come in and they go, oh no, it needs to be machine washable, because they won't know what to do with it, which I find not always completely accurate. I actually find a lot of mums are pretty darn amazing at figuring it out, or they'll say it needs to be machine washable because they just won't have the time. One of the biggest myths that I definitely dispel if I've ever got any young mums or new mums in the store and they're wanting machine washable yarn because they think it's going to be faster. I can tell you right now, people, it's not faster. So actually with baby knits, it's much, much faster to hand wash that puppy than what it is to stick it in a machine. And you think, oh, well, I'm going to throw it in a machine. The machine does all the work. But you throw it in the machine and several things happen in the machine. One, it does get prone to more wear and tear because even on the gentlest of cycles, it is being bashed around. The reality with hand knitting baby garments, and I have so been there and done that with my two, is that short of spills, whether they be from the front end or the back end, baby garments actually don't require a lot of washing. So it's not like we do have a mentality, it's not like sort of cotton garments or any other clothes that you need to recycle those out quite readily. If it's wool and natural fibre, it doesn't need to. And I mean, if it's not soiled, don't wash it. Even if they've worn it 3 or 4 times, if it's not soiled, don't wash it. It's a natural living, breathing fibre. It will be fine. If it has had an upset from the front or the back end, the best way to tackle that is just a good soak. And I always just had a little bucket, and it was I would pop in there my wool wash of choice, and it doesn't even need to be wool wash. I mean, gosh, you could even throw in a few drops of laundry detergent or shampoo or whatever it is that you like to use. But it's essentially enough detergent to break the surface tension. Now, why is that, you say? And this is, it's just simple physics. It's breaking that surface tension of the water, which these detergents do, which allows the water to actually penetrate the fibres. So if you give it a good soak and there has been a bit of an oopsie, you pop it in your bucket with your little bit of detergent in there and you just leave it. You don't even agitate it. You just make sure that it's completely covered. Sometimes woolen items will actually float up to the top. I actually used to find a little bread plate, side plate would be perfect, and I just plop that on there just to keep it submerged. And you literally just leave it, just walk away. What do they say? Spray and walk away. Well, you just soak and walk away and just let it go. And I mean, you can leave it for hours, you can leave it for as long as you like. I used to use sort of tepid water, so what I would call no more than 30 degrees, which is, you know, just nice and comfortable and warm. And often I would leave that until it went completely cold, so that usually took about an hour. But yeah, just walk away. And if you left it there for a good hour or two and you came back and then you picked up the garment and had a look, you will be amazed that most of what is on there, if not all, has completely miraculously disappeared and just been dissolved into the liquor that you have in the bucket. So it is incredibly easy. If you've got a little bit of something that's a wee bit more persistent, then you can just gently slosh a little bit of water. I find, dare I say it, I've got a kitchen sink, you know, I would find that I would just stick it under the kitchen sink or the laundry tub and then just put a blast of water, and the force of the water on the tap would be enough just to dislodge anything that was a bit persistent and sticking around. And that's it. Roll that sucker up in a towel, lay it flat in the shade. As simple as that. Much, much easier. And I did that with whether it be machine washable knits or hand knits. I did all my kiddies' knits. And in fact, I still do, for most of my knits, I still do that today. So super, super, super easy. So if you're out there and you are a new mum and you're thinking, oh, I only want machine washable yarn, trust me, it doesn't matter. You can have it in any old yarn, and it is much, much faster to hand wash that knit. Now, I emphasised dry and shade. The reason I did that is, it's funny, you know, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you make massive assumptions, which just makes an ass of yourself. You make massive assumptions of what people know and what they don't know. And of course, one of those assumptions, of course, is drying wool and natural fibres in the shade. And especially if you've got lighter coloured garments or bleached garments. So our baby whites, in fact, do I have a baby white handy here? No, I do not. I've just got some naturals. When we're doing, to get what we call complete optic white, so that's a bright white yarn, we do actually have to bleach it. It's the only way you can get it like that, because it comes, the whitest you can get it off the sheep is this, which is actually a soft very, very soft natural cream. Now, personally, this for me is what I like, but some people really do like that bright crispness of an optic white. So because it has been bleached, the UV light and bleached yarn are not happy friends, people, not happy friends at all. And what can happen is that those knits can yellow. They sort of do take on a yellow tinge. And once it gets that yellow tinge, you can vinegar, you can do a whole bunch of different things, but it is very, 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 very difficult to remove. The only way to completely avoid that is to lay those knits out and not have it anywhere near any form of direct sunlight or UV light. For me, I actually find if you're just doing smaller items, rolling it out on a towel, I actually find, because I mean, I don't know how many of you have this problem, but as many of you know, I have dogs, and quite big dogs on the bigger end of the scale. And I have to admit, our big boy, he's our second one. When we had our first one was when we had our children. And, you know, I would lay everything out, and I had an area in the house that was out of the sun where I could lay these things flat, and I'd roll them all out and have them all on towels. And then the dog would think, oh, that is just the perfect place for me to take a nap. And inevitably, my freshly laundered baby knits would be christened by a very large mastiff. So I very quickly had to figure out a new way to do it. And I'm not much of an ironer. I don't like to iron. I do it desperately if I have to, but I actually found that was the best use for my ironing board. Was I would pull it out and do all my baby knits, and then get a big towel out, fresh towel, and I would lay all my baby knits out on the ironing board and sit the ironing board sort of up somewhere. In fact, the place I used to sit at was in a place in the living room not too far from the heat pump. So then the heat pump would naturally that's where the air was circulating, and they used to dry just like that. And yes, and his certain canine highness couldn't get himself anywhere near it. The things you do, I tell you what, with dogs and children. So that's something that I would do to keep those knits away. So if you're not aware, definitely keep especially lighter shade yarns and natural fibres out of direct sunlight. Really, really super important. So, which then sort of brought, sorry, I went off on I kept saying it's going to be a quick chat, and it never happens that way, because stuff pops into my head, and then I think, oh, I should tell you about that. I should tell you about that. Right, but I did wanted to grab this. So I started off in New Beginnings. I wanted to show you that new yarn, and then I wanted to show you this because I noticed that Lorraine had left this here overnight. She's been quietly beavering away on this. Now, I can't tell you the pattern. She's got it written down because Lorraine, our wonderful Lorraine, who we've had since just before the sale, is she looks after all our in-store patterns, and she is the mistress of all things in store, and she hunts these patterns out. We've got leaf lists from our traditional suppliers, but what she also does, we have Revelry in store set up here. So that means that if you come in store and there's a pattern that you've seen on Ravelry that you want to purchase, we're actually able to purchase that for you, because some people are not confident with that sort of thing. We can purchase that for you here. We can run it through a normal till type process like you normally use, so you don't have to put your credit card through the computer, because some people, again, are not comfortable with that. And the beautiful thing about that is we purchase the pattern direct from the designer. If you've got your Ravelry account, we can link it directly back to that, and so the pattern appears in your library, and then we can print the pattern out for you here in store. So we've been doing that for a number of years now, and loads of you love that service. And what Lorraine's been doing doggedly, actually, over the last several months, and she's every night she's been staying late, she's been finding her favourites of patterns there, and she's been hunting out not necessarily what I would call the top 10. You know, she's been going a bit beyond that and digging out patterns and finding designs, some free, some purchased, of designs and patterns and things that you may like to knit, that are readily available or easily purchased on Rev Online, and actually printing out the requirements for those, so then it can just sort of help narrow your browsing down, because we've all gone down that rabbit hole and you spend hours trying to find something that you just can't find, and sometimes a lesser choice is a lot easier to navigate than all the massive choices you have there. And I think this is one of the patterns that she's done. So she is coming in today, so I will ask her what this is, and when I find out, I will stick it in the comments for you. But I wanted to show it to you because she's gone and done some color work on here, because she wanted, this is before I get too ahead of myself, this is Legacy. Oh, there we go, Legacy. This one is Lucas, which is Claire's son. And this, in fact, she's knitted Claire's, oh no, this is Bethany, which is Peter and Mary Chatterton's granddaughter. So we've named all the Legacy yarns have been named after children and grandchildren of people here in the team. And she's done this beautiful colour work. And I just wanted to show you how gorgeous this colour work is looking. And the stitch definition is lovely. There's a very, very gentle, subtle halo on this organic merino. And I wanted to show you this because there are so many designs out there at the moment calling for fingering or full play or sport weight yarn. This yarn, this Legacy, will comfortably fall into any of those categories. And as you can see, and I'll just pull it up a little bit close to the camera, can you see that? As you can see, it's working colour work absolutely beautifully. And the nice thing about this is that we've got a variety of neutral shades. We've got shades with pop. There is a natural cream in there if you need to throw in some contrast. So if you're looking for colour work and you are struggling to find something, this Legacy is fantastic. And it's also, I think, incredibly well priced. It's $8.95 a ball, which is, and it's 176 meters, 74 meters, 174 meters, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I think a really, really nice option for all those finer weight colour work projects that are rolling around at the minute. And if you are here locally and you're wanting to get one of those, but again, as I said, we've got Rav in store and we can actually print those off, purchase those for you and print those off in store for you. So we're quite happy to do that. So that is Legacy. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, Outlaw October. I know, because we are the 27th of September today. Wow, where's that gone? Happy birthday, Charlie and Gracie, and happy birthday, cousin Karen. I know, I have a lot of birthdays today. Happy birthday to them. Yeah, Outlaw October is going to be here before we know it. In fact, Outlaw October starts early next week. What is Outlaw October, Marie? Do elaborate. Right, Outlaw October is run by Deb from Outlaw Yarns every year. And it is a big group knit along with a variety of different categories. And she is incredibly, incredibly generous with her prizes. She gives away I haven't got the dollar amount, but I think it's usually around $200, or it could be even a wee bit more, in a voucher to a store nominated by you, and please do not change the format on me, Deb, because I'm talking about this now, nominated by you. This is what she's done in previous years, for the winners. Like, really, really incredible. And she does that every year. And she has some really neat categories, and it covers all her Outlaw yarns. Now, we had Vanitas. She was here for the weekend grand opening weekend, and we did this brilliant Vanitas special. We wanted to do something with her coming up. And she has said to me, we'll keep Vanitas on sale through Outlaw October. So then if you're wanting to do something special for Outlaw October, we have got Vanitas now down from $26 down to $19, which is a massive saving. Now, Vanitas, and there it is there, Vanitas is Deb's baby alpaca yarn. So this is super fine alpaca. It is luxuriously soft, incredibly smooth, a wonderful, wonderful drape. Again, if you're looking at some of those finer colour work patterns which are around, Vanitas, I think, is a brilliant option for those patterns, because a lot of them call, because they're all yoked, they call for things to sort of drape and sit. Vanitas will do that beautifully. And this is actually one of the samples that Deb brought up for us over the weekend. And it's just, look, a really, really simple rectangular scarf. And again, I'm not sure whether this is out of Deb's head or whether or not this is a proprietary pattern. But what I love about it is it's just super simple. It's just used one ball of these colours into this lovely, beautiful wide stripe garter stitch scarf, which, even with what I'm wearing today, which is incredibly, incredibly practical to wear. And this is the reality of it. You want stuff that is wearable, it's easy. Something like this is great for this time of year where it's still a bit chilly at the beginnings and the ends of the day. It is just so incredibly soft. You won't have any issues. For those that come back, and I get this all the time, and I know Debs gets this too. Oh no, I can't wear alpaca. I'm allergic to alpaca. Very, 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 very few of you are allergic to alpaca. What some of you are sensitive towards, alpaca has two layers. There's a fine down layer, and then there are also guard hairs. Coarser alpaca, so coarser micron alpaca, those guard hairs are often still within the fibre, and it's quite standard with some of our alpaca yarns here. You can pick a ball up and you'll see a guard hair. We try and dehair that as much as we can through our gilling and combing process, but you don't effectively get them all the way out. Baby alpaca, these are baby alpacas, people, baby. So they don't have a chance to have developed those guard hairs yet. So these are new little alpacas. No guard hairs to be found. This is the softest, downiest fibre that you will ever get your paws on. So if you've ever wanted to knit with alpaca yarn, but you are really worried about your sensitivity towards it, then Atas, I can almost guarantee, will be the one that you'll be able to use because of the baby alpaca fibre used. So definitely do that. So that is now available through Outlaw October. So this weekend, if you're wanting to participate in Outlaw or October, and I strongly suggest you do because it is so much fun. And she runs all of that, by the way, over on her Ravelry group. So just head over to Outlaw Yarn on Ravelry. I'll pop the link up in the thing for you. You get prepped this weekend. So if you've had something sitting in the queue that you're wanting to knit, have a look at what Outlaw yarn you've had at home, or if you need to stock up, get your orders in over the weekend. We'll have those out because the projects need, you can't sort of jump start on those projects. It is for the month of October. She's quite strict on that. Starts from the 1st and finishes on the 31st of October. So do get your prep. This is a good weekend to get yourself prepped for Outlaw October. So make sure you jump on and do that. Right. Oh, Vicky, 2 alpacas. I know, they're so cute, aren't they? I love them. If I had my parents have a lifestyle blog, and when I say yeah, it is a lifestyle blog. My father, he's a nut, a sheep nut. If anyone knows him, he still works in the wool industry. He's in his late 70s now. He still works full time in the wool industry. But I would dearly love, I'm so tempted as a retirement present actually to get him some alpacas because some people down the road have them. And I just think my niece, who's just turned 2, would think that they were the best things ever. Right. Anyhow, I'm still talking. Sorry, I said it was going to be fast. I lied. Right. I'm going to do an unboxing. I told my son this morning, I'm going to do an unboxing on my video because he watches all these unboxings. I don't know. We're not going to go and I'm not going to do the career, but I want to show you this because this is the other thing that I loaded up yesterday. And I'm really Claire. This is all Claire's doing. She had one of these. She purchased one of these a wee while ago and she loves it. And we ordered these. We had to get these in from Australia, and I wanted to show you this because everyone knows that I'm very fond. I call it Buzz Buzz. Very fond of my Buzz Buzz, which is my deep pillar, which I think I linked it last time. I've linked it several times before, which I get from Briscoe's. It's battery operated, AA batteries, and I think I'm on to my 3rd Buzz Buzz now because they do. I mean, the motors do. I wear my motor out on my Buzz Buzz. She sounds quite rude, really. So no, I love mine. But if Buzz Buzz has a downside, Buzz Buzz is battery operated, and it runs out. And if I do every autumn, I have a huge big depill session. So I get out all my knits that have been most of them packed away through the summer months, and I check them all, and then they all get those that need airing get aired, those that need depilling get depilled, and I have, I do it on, I set aside a few hours, and I actually find it really therapeutic, get the music going, have a cup of tea, and I just, it's a bit of woolen housekeeping, as it were. But when I do that, I definitely go at least through 1 set of batteries in that time, and sometimes 2 sets. It is a battery hungry operation. Now, in my house, I've got little boys who are gamers, so I buy AA batteries by the gross for remote controls. So for me, it's never an issue. There is always AA batteries in my house, but it is expensive. Claire wanted to hunt out a depiller, and we knew what worked. We've trialed, honestly, we have bought so many depillers in this place, from overseas, different online places. We have trialed them all, and I have about, you'll laugh, honestly, we do have a graveyard of depiller. We have so many of them, and all of them work to a degree, but hand knits are quite different. A lot of them are designed for garment depilling. So they're designed for like sweatshirting material that gets that, and you need to give it a spruce up and stuff. But hand knits, the pilling on hand knits can be quite, they can be quite big, particularly underneath your arms and underneath your breast area. My case, across my lower back, because I sit in chairs like this at work all day, and it rubs, and they don't pick up a lot of those larger nets that get created. So Claire got this one. This is called the Classic, from the Fibre Care Company, the Classic 50 Fabric Shaver. What Claire loves about it is power operated. There are two positives about this, being power operated. Positive number one is that you never lose power. With my battery buzz, which I there she is. No, she can come on in because I'm just talking. Your ears were burning because I've just done the deboxing of this, and I was just saying, we were just talking about how my buzz runs out of batteries, which sounds so rude now that I say that out loud. My buzz, it does sound very rude. Hey, it's nearly the weekend. But I was also saying how you purchased this, and what you love is the fact that it never ever loses power when you're using it. It's great, yeah. So Claire was so smitten on hers that she hunted out the wholesale supplier for us to get it. So it looks very much like the one that I know and love, and in fact the head unit on it, when I pop this off, and this is what we like. It's a larger head unit here, and it's got larger holes. What I do like about this though is that the blades on this compared to my one are quite vastly more see, they're much this is, if I pull my one out, these blades are quite a bit bigger. This blade plate is much sturdier, and in fact overall the construction of this is much more sturdy than the one that I've got. The other really nice thing about these blades, that just pops off, and Claire has just done this as well at the same time, you can purchase replacement blades. So when you're spending this additional money on this one, which you will be, it is more expensive. The fact that you can actually buy replacement blades, I think, is no small thing, because for hand knits, those blades do need to be very, very sharp, because the last thing you want is a blunt blade picking up a net that's still quite thick and attached, particularly on a very finer micron garment like something like Legacy, and then you're pulling a stitch. We do not want that. I've never personally had that. I mean, I've got a lot of finer fibered garments. And I even find with my buzz I'm good, but I can hear it in the motor. The motor really starts, particularly once the cavity here fills up, it really does start to struggle. Again, this has got a really nice capacity cavity. You can see what it is. Claire said it fills down actually more readily than the one that we use, the battery operated one that we use. And again, the biggest thing is it never loses that power. So by having constant power supply to the motor, plus those blades which you can replace and keep sharp, this is a unit I think that is going to last you a really long, good time. So I'm actually going to get one of these as well. Not that I'm going to, I won't don't panic. I won't completely retire Buzz. Buzz will end up becoming a travel depiller. As you can tell, I'm very fond of my depillers. But we really are, she's quite smitten with this. It also comes with a cleaning brush there as well, so you can make sure that you can clean that plate there and your blades are kept nice and clean and fresh. I think that this is an investment. You really do. We've got them loaded and listed for $65, which, considering the others retail at Briscoe's for $20, and you can usually get them on special. I think last time I paid about $13 for mine. That's essentially this is 4 times more expensive. But I think by the time you've gone through Oodle's batteries, and as I said, I'm on to my third battery operated depiller now, so I'm almost to the cost of one of these. So we're really pleased to have these in. As I said, it's from the Fabric Care Company. It is called the Classic 50 Fabric Shaver. And if you especially with all of those beautiful finer knit cardigans, I've seen timelies and floozies and all of those things out there that get loads of wear, and you're wanting to keep them looking fresh. This, I think, if you love to knit with merino fibre or anything, I think this is just a no-brainer. I have talked about ad nauseum fibres and pilling in the past. There is no such thing as a no-pill natural fibre. It's going to happen. It's part of the natural process. Fibres will actually escape from the yarn. Finer fibres, the uber soft fibres, so fine merinos, fine alpacas, doesn't matter. Alpaca's actually pretty good, to be fair, because it's a longer staple, but any fine fibre, they will tend, possum's a bit of a nightmare for this, they will pill vastly more readily than a more rustic fibre like Southlander. Do not let that put you off. I don't. That's why I go through so many buzzes. I love soft luxury fibres, adore them in fact. And I'm sorry, I have no gumption about knitting a huge big cardigan, and I've got one which I adore, and I'm really hoping to be able to produce that yarn at some point. It's a yarn we made many eons ago, and I want to for another long gone client, and I really want to bring it back in our stable. And it's a cashmere yarn. It's got merino and 20% cashmere. It's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. It's lush. It's just like actually our orb construction. I adore it. And I purchased quite a bit of that before I even worked with the team here, and had it in stash. That jumper I love. That cardigan I wear all the time, and I swear to you, I have to depill that cardigan nearly every second wear, just around the hot spots, just to give it a little brush up to have it looking good. And you know what? It is worth it. Takes a minute or two to do it, and I would much rather do that and have it looking fantastic. If you think, oh, I can't be bothered depilling, it's no more time consuming than hand washing a garment. So there we go. There's my son should be quite proud. I've done my first deboxing. So I would check that out there. How long have I been talking to people? Oh, half an hour. Look at that. I think I need to shut up. I was actually going to talk about some swatching, but I'll talk about that next time because it can wait. The only other thing I will tell you, the shawl I'm wearing today, because it's a little bit chilly, This is the Zane shawl. This is our Mahana and Afi shawl. If you haven't tried Afi yet, Afi is the slightly textured version that we have in Mahana, and I absolutely love it. In fact, I need to get my Afi cardigan photograph, or Afi jumper photograph properly so you can see that. But anyway, there's some questions on the comments, which I will get to as soon as I shut up. But to recap, we've got those 2 new yarns. That's on the sale page, Bellflower, and Creme de Menthe is on the Merino Soft page. You will find Legacy on its very own page. Oh, I better put that back in there, don't lose that. The lint shaver that I've just talked about, I will put the link up in the comments, but if you get caught short, just put lint in the keyword in the search, and it should pop up for you, or shaver, either or, and you should find that. And we've actually bought in a handful of those to test those out, and they came really quickly. So if you guys absolutely love them and we sell out, don't panic. We'll just contact the supplier and get some more across. So until then, have a great weekend wherever you are. Hunt out your projects for Outlaw October starting next week, and jump over onto Debs's Ravelry group and check out. She should have the outlines for the rules and all the bits and pieces over there. And if she doesn't, Debs, can you go and put the outlines and all the rest of it over onto your Rav for Outlaw October? I know you, though, because you'll have it, because you're organised. So much more organised than me. But until then, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you and talk to you next week. until then, take care.